everybody, to episode 6 of Moon Diary Moments.
That's right.
We are Moonstruck Melodies, and this is our
little digital diary, a diary of the moon variety, where we're talking about all of our experiences, traveling, going around, playing live music as independent musicians.
Yeah. So today we're talking about two
gigs.
This was, so the first one we're talking about is a place called Trident. Is it Trident Cafe? Trident.
Hard T at the end.
Cafe. Like Poseidon's weapon.
Are you familiar?
Trident Cafe. It was in Boulder, Colorado on Pearl Street. And it was actually a really cool little spot. It was kind of like, it definitely reminded me of Rico's Cafe in Colorado Springs.
Yes.
We talked about in the other episodes.
Because of the layout. So it's coffee shop, bookstore, they've got like beer and wine, but they've also got
a little stage in the back.
Yeah, like an enclosed patio, they've got a little stage. It's great because it's all, connected. So if you're going there for one thing, you can kind of meander and be a part of all of the things that are going on inside.
Yeah. It was definitely a really great vibe. We like playing at places like that, it feels like, because it's a little bit more storyteller oriented. So
it's a little bit more intimate.
Yeah, we were able to kind of play a little bit more of our stories. And there's a little bit more people there than there were at some of these other shows. It was kind of like a, have your laptop out kind of vibe.
Straight up, when we're bringing in our equipment, everyone's got like headphones in and is like studying diligently. So we were like, what are we about to get into? But it was like, once the music got going, a lot of people were like, okay.
Yeah, cool. Which was really cool, really fun.
Yeah, a lot of direct eye contact throughout the whole show, which, just makes it feel like more storytelling vibes. We can talk about the songs a little bit more, talk about our stories a little bit more, and have them just be received really well. And the person who booked us there, which we booked that by just sending an email, and they seemed really excited and grateful to have us there, which, always goes a long way.
Yeah, they were all about it. I mean, they said that, again, and they were kind of there listening. It wasn't like they just kind of set us up and we're never seen again. Like, I definitely saw him. He actually came and ate his lunch right in front of us, kind of like listening. And he was just like very thankful that we were there and just that we brought our specific vibe.
We felt like he got the vibe.
Yeah, he was like, this place was made for your type of music. So we were able to feel a little bit more fulfilled. It feels like with that kind of a show, and I think he even asked for us back.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try and go back there
in September.
Sometime in September. We're still working that out.
So that's again another good sign.
Yeah.
When you're independent musicians, it's kind of like that's what you have to go on. Like,
are they willing to have us back?
Right. Yeah. So that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that kind of sums up that experience.
We even, I think, sold a T-shirt. There was this one lady there, this kind of older couple. The lady, it was because it was a kind of a close place. We didn't have like a merch table out per se.
Well, we had our T-shirts just kind of like.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, our T-shirts were like near our tip jar, but they were really like low key. It wasn't like displayed or anything.
I was really impressed that she
went over, scanned our QR code, went to our website. And then
we have our T-shirts available online because we don't have the inventory or the space to just buy a bunch of or the resources to buy a bunch of T-shirts and have a bunch of physical copies. So we have them available online, and then they just are shipped right to
by batch
the door.
They go,
whoever buys it. Yeah. So.
Which, side note, shout out to bonfire.com as. People who are in our situation, if anyone's watching this, independent musician, can't afford to have inventory, bonfire.com allows you to upload your design and they ship everything directly to your customers. You fill out all the information, you choose the price of the T-shirt, aka the profit that you're getting, and also
it allows you to donate to
a nonprofit.
As well.
That's like the whole platform of that website. Is it makes it really easy to fundraise and things like that for nonprofits. But you can choose what to do with that profit. If you want to keep it, for instance, we split our profit 50-50, so we'll keep half of the profit, and then we chose a nonprofit to donate the rest of it to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure.
Totally.
And side note.
Yeah, but that lady was really, really nice and fun and appreciative. But the couple was in general, so that was nice. They stayed afterwards, and we talked with them, chatted with them for a little bit. So.
Which we always feel we've only played in Boulder a handful of times, but it's a nice vibe there. We feel like there's always a couple of people who just completely get what we're doing and
of all ages too.
Yeah,
it's very hip. It's like people who are there are very hip. Yeah, it's a hip spot. So that was cool.
That was on a Sunday.
Yeah,
and then the Saturday that followed it, we actually played a show in Windsor, Colorado.
At a place called High Hops Brewery.
Yeah.
And this is another really cool spot. It's actually it's really cool. There's a garden center, and then there's a brewery, the High Hops Brewery, and then there's a distillery called the Heart Distillery. And I don't know if they're all owned by the same people. I think the Heart Distillery and the brewery are owned by the same couple.
I think the garden
and the garden center
I think
too?
So.
It's really cool. It's like they're all separate businesses, but I think they're all owned by the same couple. We met the couple. So this older couple was very sweet. When we got there, they were like, "Hey, do you need anything? Thanks for being here," kind of thing. So it was very.
It was a very
nice
it felt like mom and pop shop, family oriented. Like everybody there probably knows everybody, and
I mean, great beer and liquor as well, as a side note. I mean, they make everything. They grow the hops there, and it's very, like you said, mom and pop kind of feel.
But they have a complete stage, QB roll right now of us playing on that stage. But it's really cool. It's like got this nice backdrop, really colorful, amazing.
Beautiful sunset
hour, a nice little Buddha statue right in front of it, and it just feels really nice. When we were playing, it was definitely, there's a festival in Fort Collins happening this weekend.
Called FOCO MX.
That we were playing in Windsor.
We did not get.
We did not make it.
We applied for, but they did not
get accepted.
Us, so.
And that's just the harsh reality.
That's one to grow on. But during that weekend, we got to play in Windsor, which is like right next door to Fort Collins. So we weren't a part of FOCO MX, but we had our own little party. It felt like over in Windsor, and which was nice. And it felt like a lot of the people there were not like it sometimes can feel.
It wasn't a party vibe.
Yeah, it sometimes, especially at a thing like FOCO MX, it can feel like kind of like
just trying to like drink and like go really hard, and
which is totally fine for some people. Lord knows, I mean, we were definitely
did
that, there. Yeah. But I mean, it's just not the vibe for everybody, and it felt cool to be still like there is a huge population of people who just want to chill. And maybe drink a beer, but like not be like belligerent. And
people that are just kind of like meeting up with their friends, and maybe this is the only time they get to see them, and like playing card games, or it was very low key.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so when we were playing, it kind of felt like we were like, man, are we just kind of background music? Maybe we shouldn't be too loud, or the song choices that we choose shouldn't be too lyrically heavy or too in your face. But we kind of shook off those thoughts and just kind of played the set that we were planning to play anyways.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we had quite a few people come up to us and say,
specifically,
thank you so much for playing. We loved your sound.
The lyrics.
And,
specifically, there was this group of
listening.
young adults there. Not young adults. I mean, they were our age. Yeah, I mean, they were probably maybe even a little bit
30.
older than us. Yeah. But there was definitely, people in the crowd who were vibing with the lyrics specifically, and they were like, yo, like heard this line even, like reciting lines back, and so it was very, I mean, something that we've kind of, I guess I'm just now consciously putting together because I'm able to, have this Moon Diary thing, but, a lot of times, especially when you're an independent musician, you don't have like a team of people who are supporting you and bringing in all your stuff with you and setting up your stuff with you and just there to support you. A huge thing, and I imagine this is across the board in like every creative endeavor, but like doubt is a huge thing. Anytime you're doing something that's worthwhile, I think that you're gonna have to come across doubt, and we
and
feel
you have
that
to be like careful how you measure your success or measure your impact, because it's not always about numbers or money or even someone like instant gratification, like someone that night.
Validation.
It's like
you kind of have to create your own validation.
That's right. Yeah.
And it feels like a lot of times we get up there and we have a wide array of music. We could just play very smooth instrumentals for 4 hours,
but
and
then
that
would
would be
we
fine.
Feel like,
but would we feel
did we
fulfilled
get
or
to
valid,
share our
right?
stories?
Yeah.
Did we get to?
Or we could just do like poetry with no music for like 4 hours as well. Like we have a huge, variety of sound, and so when we get up there, we try to ease into those stories and those poems. But sometimes we can be like, well, would people just rather us not, be all in their faces?
Which is a doubt. It's a doubtful
I feel
thought.
like it's just that entity we call doubt, right? And
or fear.
It's a plague that plagues you, and like Sidney was saying, that you kind of have to be careful on how you measure yourself, because if you're looking for a physical marker, then it's going to be hard, I think, to overcome doubt. Or at least from my experience, it's kind of, you have to have something internally that you look for to help you overcome doubt.
We have to have faith, right? Living by faith, not by sight.
Totally, yeah. And this was a prime example. I mean, anytime, especially, it's almost easier when there's no one there, right? Because then it's like you just are able to just kind of practice almost, and it's kind of a lot less pressure. But when you show up to a place like High Hops, it's such a beautiful little venue.
And
it's got a stage, and there are people. There's like full. Pretty much every table has got a few people at it. You're thinking,
and as soon as
like
you
I
make
better not.
First drum to sound check, everyone's like,
yeah, this first note better be on point, because they're all right there. And that's just the I think the stuff that you get that builds character and muscle, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And it gets you kind of used to just closing, for me, just kind of closing your eyes and remember who you're singing to, or who you're performing to, or who you're performing for. It's not necessarily for this physical, these people, or for the validation, or for anything like that, but it's for this inner, deeper, higher fulfillment of, this is a story that not only that I wrote, but that I've lived, and I want to share. And to be vulnerable and to open up that space, I think, is magical and divine, because it allows for countless other parties to do the same.
Yeah.
And so I think that was, for me, the moment that we got paid in, both at Trident and at High Hops, was just this, it wasn't an instant gratification or this instant kind of feeling of being validated, but it was like, hey, people are listening, people are watching you, so be careful, like hold yourself up, because don't let doubt, ruin it, because there are people here. And
this is your chance. It's just about to be over.
Yeah.
Right when you blink. I mean, it's crazy. Sometimes we'll play like 2 hours and 3 hour gigs, and it's just
I feel like
mind-blowing how fast it's over. So you better not waste your time thinking fearful or doubtful thoughts, because it's going to be over, and then you're going to look back, and you want to feel like you gave it everything that you've got. I just remembered something. Fun fact. So I actually had stitches in my leg when we played at High Hops.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we didn't. So
I think we played that Sunday show Trident, the 23rd, and on the 24th, I go to my day job. We both do landscaping for our day jobs right now. Yeah. Who knows what we'll be doing the next few months, but I, with a hedge trimmer, totally sliced my thigh and had to go to urgent care, and I got 15 stitches in my thigh. So that was crazy. I've never had stitches before in my life. It was a whole experience for me.
Huge traumatic ordeal, yeah.
So yeah, took the week off of work after that. Obviously couldn't just hop back into the field and get to trimming and stuff again. So that Saturday was like, it was kind of, that was on our minds, we were hoping that everything was going to be all right.
I mean, and she had to stand for the 2 hour gig.
We were going to sit, and then we were like, no, that's not enough. That's not giving enough energy to this show. So then we decided right when we got there, let's just stand.
Yeah, she's such a rock star. But also, I mean, are we going to tell them about Terry?
Let's just tell them.
So that Monday, she slices her leg, gets stitches, obviously doesn't return to work.
I come home around like lunchtime.
After she gets stitched up, she comes home.
Yeah, I was at work for 1 hour, and then that happened. And so I make it back home around lunchtime.
And then about an hour, long story short, about an hour after she gets home and is settling at home, our landlord, from whom we are renting our house, stops by. Again, long story short.
Just to give us the information that she is selling the house that we were renting, and we have 3 months to move out. So that was a really big day.
That all happened in the same day. The day after Trident.
Half day.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Another really long story short, you know, we've had a lot of conversations about what that meant for us, and
so it looks like, we're moving.
We are moving, and we're moving back to Texas.
Looks like moving out of Colorado.
Yeah, we made the decision that we're ready to go back to Texas, at least for a little bit.
It was very interesting because we only have 3 months to get out and find a new place.
And as we're filming this, it's 2 now. It's 2.
And we also have a month in California in June that we have a bunch of shows lined up for. So really, we only have...
We have basically 1 month to get our stuff together and get out.
Yeah. So it felt like very divine timing. We've been kind of wanting or talking about being closer to family and maybe even starting a family in the near future, and it felt like it all came at a very interesting time, and so we thought, we were being led in this other direction.
I would like to share that the day before or 2 days before we found out that we needed to move out of our house, we were having conversations about maybe when we'd like to be back in Texas, maybe in a few years, and Austin said out loud, the only reason why we are not moving yet is because we have this house, and we love this house and our little yard, our little garden.
Such a great
landlord. An amazing
landlord.
deal. We love our landlord.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple days later, the house just slipped right out from underneath us. So we thought, okay, this is definitely a sign to take the opportunity, move back to Texas. So
that's what we went into High Hops on Saturday with 15 stitches in her leg, and us not knowing where we were going to be living in the near future. That's actually a great point. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
and it definitely framed the whole show. But again, I think that maybe even
helped us appreciate it too, because we already kind of knew, all right, we're probably not going to be living permanently in Colorado past the end of July. So any moment that we are here, any moment that we get to play music here is a blessing. And now we're soaking up everything here, naturally. When you find out that something is ending, you've got those appreciation goggles, those gratitude goggles on. And
it really helps your perspective. I mean, for me, especially even just at the landscaping job and at all the shows that we're doing and even just everyday life that we're going through, it's helped my perspective in the way that, I think that it's healthy to live like you're about to leave.
Because it's always true.
We don't know how long we have, and frankly, we don't really have any amount of time except for right now. Yeah. This is the only moment that we have, and it's a waste of energy, and it's a waste of the moment to complain about anything.
Anything.
Yeah. And it's really made it clear to us that, we've been laid off, we've been homeless,
We've had our, heat go out in the peak of winter.
We've had the coldest part of winter. Yeah, that was rough. But it's all great, because if you think of it like you're about to leave, and it's really humbling to think of it that way, because I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, so you might as well look for the things, the lessons, the moments to enjoy. Because it is all about to end.
It's fleeting, like breath on a glass. It's only here for a moment. Yeah. So, that's our little spiel. High Hops and Trident. I mean, both of those venues were great. We're going to hopefully be back to both of them very soon. We'll be back at Trident in September. And then, yeah, we have some more shows coming up. We're going to California very soon, so we'll be posting a lot of stuff about that.
Yeah, so the next episode we'll be talking about our Colorado Springs gigs that we had at the City Auditorium and the Well.
And I think there was a farmer's market as well.
Oh yeah, that's a threefer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be talking about our participation at the Civility of the Book Fest. So
cool stuff. Yeah,
that'll be cool.
So stay tuned, and we will be back again. Thank you guys.